Hey there, I'm Blake Addison, production supervisor at the Long Center for the Performing Arts. Welcome to another installment of Long Center Presents Long Story Short, the show where we interview members of the Austin art scene and see what they're up to. Today's guest is a much esteemed theater maker, lighting designer, producer, and founder of Natalie George Productions. She has received accolades and awards from Be Eyed and Pain Committee, Austin Critics Table, and was even awarded Best Out There Producer by Austin Chronicle. Please welcome my good friend, and if you're lucky, yours, Natalie George.
Hi,
Hey,
Blake.
Natalie. How are you? How's your day going?
It's going pretty good. Yeah, I'm so happy to be here and chatting with you in the Long Center.
Same. I'm so happy to see your face and be here and just have a chat about what's going on.
Yeah.
Well, let's just jump right in. Do you mind letting the viewers know where you started your arts career, what got you into it, and what that journey's looked like so far?
Sure. You know, I grew up in a family of it and just kept doing it. And it's been such a organic journey for me. I feel really lucky that to me, I feel like I've taken many hard right turns, but it's all more just kind of been a ball rolling downhill and slightly shifting paths. I went to college as an actor and gave up on that within about a year in. And
Where'd you go to school?
St. Edward's University here in Austin.
Right
That's
on.
what brought me to Austin. And I just stumbled into lighting while I was there, and then just sort of became obsessed with it. And so that got me going on lighting and stage management and production management. And then that kind of sort of became my new path. And I think I just kept, after I got out of school and would work in production, I just kept finding these holes or these places where I felt like, why isn't this person talking to this person? And why, you know, if I show up to tech as a lighting designer, why haven't these things been done or whatever? So, and it was always questions, you know, like I just wanted to know more about the process and I just found I had a lot of opinions. And so I think all of that just made me roll into being a producer and deciding that was really, I think, what suited me best. So I sort of consider lighting design my passion, and my art, and producing is just what really just my brain wants to do. And
Yeah. Well, tell us about Natalie George Productions and your team.
Yeah. So, so after freelancing for many years and kind of trying out different aspects of performance and different kinds of performance, I ended up being the festival producer for Fusebox. I did that for 10 years. And that was such a huge, monumentous part of my life for so long, and beautiful in so many ways. But what really, it helped me pinpoint all the things I loved and exactly what I felt like I was good at and what I wanted to keep doing. And so I just kind of had this Rolodex after those 10 years, and I just sort of sat down and decided, okay, how do I put all of these things together in one box? So when I felt like I had the right picture, I took the leap of faith and left and started NGP, and just wanted to be able to produce my own work, but also wanted to serve this community and in deeper ways, and find ways to sort of build my own little team to raise the production values and in Austin performance, do the things that I wanted to do. But I also had this new love of events and doing lighting and production for event work. And so it was a way for me to just sort of put all of that in one place and make that happen. And you know, there's a lot of it that has to do with art and artists and this community and what I want to do. But ultimately, there's a large part of it that comes down to financial as well. You know, I was at a place where I was a little bit tired of being a starving artist and struggling. And I really did love doing events. There's a beauty to it and an art to it for me, but I also just said, okay, so if I make a model where I do events, 50% of the time, then I can afford my art habit. And
Right.
right.
Yeah.
And I felt like I wanted that for myself and for other members of my community, and I felt like my brain worked in a way that I could kind of put this together and make this happen. And I just looked around at all of the artists that I knew that I thought were beautiful set designers and painters and crafters and makers. And I was like, I have just the richest,
Tons of
team of,
resources.
these humans. And so anyway, so I thought, I think we can make events and make art and do all of these things, and I can put money into the pockets of the people that I love and the people I wanted to work with. And I just kind of created my own universe for myself.
Well, shifting gears just a little bit, what is NGP doing to stay connected with the community right now?
Yeah, well, we, first of all, I just had to make sure that my team stayed connected. And that was the most important thing for me, was to continue our weekly meetings on Zoom and to stay together as a team and keep checking in on each other and helping each other along. And then our biggest thing is that we've been putting out our cabaret series, which we have a cabaret series. So the thing that NGP fully produces of our own right now is a cabaret series that happens 4 times a year, live music cabaret. And so we went back to our vaults, and we had a bunch of footage that we put together. And so we put together 2 full-length highlight reels of the cabarets that we've had so far, and some other individual standalone songs. And so we've been kind of putting that out into the world and sharing that from our perspective. And then hopefully letting the performers that have performed with us in the cabaret use that online content for their own promotion.
I watched the cabaret hosted by Michelle Kever, who I love, and it was so much fun, and it was really great. I liked the way that you guys put it all together. How many artists have you guys had in the cabaret, roughly?
I think probably around 25-ish at this point. We've had 2 full seasons. So yeah, and most shows are an accompanist, a host, and then 3 singers, and that has varied some here and there. But
yeah, that's great. And are they normal? Are they people who are gigging as musicians or theater artists combinations?
Yeah, it's a combination of both. So the cabaret really was born out of the idea that, for me, music is food for the soul. That is my happy place, listening to music. It's what I need in this life. And we started the cabaret a couple of years ago when there was a lot of shift in the performing arts to political plays or sort of performance pieces that had a message. And while I wholeheartedly love those and the world need those, that's not me. And I didn't have anything I needed to say at the time. And I felt like the thing I needed at the time was what I wanted to do on a Sunday night to wash away the week and be able to take a breath and start the next week. So that's what we wanted to do. And for us, so it's a pop-up, a one night only when we do it. We change venues often. And we wanted to bring together these amazingly talented singers and musicians and be able to set up our own nightclub for a night, which, you know, is our event side, and then just welcome an audience in and sort of have this this little one night nightclub experience that was just about sitting back and just taking in all this luscious, you know, musical talent. And for me, what I thought would be interesting was to invite people from, you know, musical theater backgrounds, just a local musician, kind of all of these different kind of musical stylings, and sort of curate them together. So as the audience comes in, and one night you might see opera, and then, you know, a soul singer, and then, you know, a musical theater artist, and so that you would kind of get this variety, which I thought was interesting to expose the audience to different people and kind of put it all together. And then further along that I was really interested in what different singers, what sort of their like secret dream list was, or maybe their shower list, their singing
Yeah.
shower list. But like how many, especially, you know, when I talk to Austin musicians, you know, true band members, and what is it that you never get to sing? You know, like, are you in a punk rock band, but you secretly sing Britney Spears in the shower? Like, what?
Yeah.
You know, like everybody sort of has that thing, and that, you know, or maybe I'm in musical theater and I'm never going to play Mama Cass, but, you know, or, you know, play this role or whoever. And so here's my chance to sing this song on stage that I'll never get cast to sing. So, I delight in asking people that, and seeing what they bring to the stage.
Well, if we were talking in January, taking everything that's been currently going on, and we set that aside, what do you think is a challenge in the Austin art scene, and what is NGP trying to do to find solutions or contribute to solutions?
Yeah. Well, we can't have this conversation and not say the word space.
Sure.
As we all know, venues have disappeared, and of course now maybe even more so. But I think the conversation has been on all of our minds, and I think, you know, and I have other thoughts about production values and things that I wish were a little different or better in some places and at some times. And so I think, I just hope that within GP, because we've sort of made our way with site-specific work, that we can help people realize that there are other places that we can make art happen anywhere. And that, you know, if you've got an idea, come to us, because we've got just a warehouse full of random things, and I'm sure I can put on a play anywhere. And, you know, so I hope that we're a resource in that way. Take this moment when you're not bound to your own personal theater space, when you're not bound to only having audience in Austin, Texas, when you're not bound to all of these things, and, you know, want to rush back to all of those things, want to run back to your space and your audience and all the things. But while we have this time, like, yeah, create something virtually that you can put in an artist from Santa Fe on your Instagram, and put in, you know, a painter that you're never going to have live on your stage in your Instagram, you know.
Right.
Anyway, so I've been thinking a lot about that. And so I don't know exactly where my brain was in January on that, but I feel like I've thought a lot about what I want to return to, and what I think I should be working on. And I hope other people are kind of seeing that too.
Yeah, I think a lot of arts groups are grappling with that very concept. And I think something very interesting come out of this is, it really doesn't matter how big or how small your organization is, we're all dealing with the exact same issues. And to
Yeah.
see that level, that playing field level, which is something I've never seen in my time working, is to see these large organizations, small organizations be on the level playing field. And like we're kind of floating and trying to figure it out. And I think it's brought a lot of people together, like you're saying, of artists from different places, and kind of returning to the roots of community, of finding that community as an artist that makes you feel good, so that you can weather a time. It's a great segue to my next question. You know, Austin has such a rich artistic landscape. We have so many wonderful people doing so many things, and sometimes it's hard to know where to look and what to look for. Do you have any artist recommendations of someone we should be looking out for? I love to hear from other artists who their little secret, you know, someone who maybe not have heard of. I love finding new people.
Yeah, I do. So Micah Motenko, who is our accompanist for the cabaret and has his own band called Motenko, and an amazing singer, amazing piano player, just incredible. He's put out a couple of singles since the beginning of the year. He's on Spotify and all the socials and all the things, but he's absolutely phenomenal. He's just crazy good. So it's been a treat to watch his live streaming stuff and see his singles hitting the charts and getting, you know, I don't want him to be too big. We need him at the cabaret.
I don't think he'll ever set that down.
But anyway, he's great. So if you want to listen to some amazing music, Micah is the way to go. And as Salvage Vanguard, who I mentioned earlier, and their virtual table on Instagram, I think is just beautiful and great to watch. Full disclosure, I sit on the board of the Flower Hill Foundation, which is a historic home museum over on West 6th Street. And it's an amazing, beautiful place. You should just check it out just to know what it is. But on social media and on our YouTube channel, we've been putting out virtual tours with the last member of the Smoot family, who passed away years ago, but she had done some video recordings before she did. So we've got some virtual tours from her, but we've also been going through and sharing. They have all of these handbooks from when they lived through the Great Depression about, there's recipes, there's way to make your own cleaning supplies, there's just how to plant and grow stuff in your garden. I mean, just this like huge array of documentation from when they lived this life. And so we've been sharing some of that on our social medias, and that's just wild, but so exciting and so great, and using their biscuit recipe, and it's awesome.
Yeah, that's wild. So recap those for me. Micah
Motenko, Salvage Vanguard's virtual table, Flower Hill Foundation. Is that up there?
Yeah, and Natalie George Productions.
And
yeah, another great segue. You're always a step ahead. Our show is coming quickly to a close here.
Yeah.
Do you have any plugs or anything that you want to say to anyone?
So check out our YouTube channel to see our virtual cabaret content, so you can know what that's all about, and watch our social media for exciting projects we have in the hopper coming up soon. And if you check out the YouTube channel, you might see this guy wherever you are in the thing.
Well, that's all the time that we have for now. Thank you so much for joining us today, Natalie. We really appreciate you taking the time to be here. We'd also like to thank the Long Center team for helping us start this project and keep moving it forward. It's been a pleasure to be a part of. We'd also like to thank you, the viewers. Thank you so much for being here. We know that your time is valuable, and we respect that deeply, and we so appreciate your support. Remember to like, subscribe, check out our website. We'll take any support in any way that you can. If you have a little bit more time left, stick around and watch a performance by me, Blake Addison, at a Natalie George Cabaret. It was a wonderful thing to be a part of, and I hope that you can stick around and check it out. And remember, create whatever you can, wherever you can, and we'll see you next week.
Every night I look up and I see it. The more I stare, the more I believe it. And every year I age feels like a decade or more. And I don't want to feel that way. No, I don't think I should feel that way at all. So I go, open the drawer in the kitchen, rifling through manuals and instructions on how to put together something I've done before. And I don't want to feel that way. No, I don't think I should feel this way at all. If everything moves in tandem with the earth spinning on its hip, and just like those b-boys on their cardboard squares, and I'm walking by with saucer eyes, is that all I missed? All the infinite? Well, I don't think I should feel this way. No, I don't think I should feel this way at all.